All right, everybody. Welcome back. The Matt and Todd Show, first annual Cherokee County Football Media Days. We appreciate you guys for taking some time out of your day.
Katie, come on.
Yeah, come on, bring it on. Oh, that's, yeah.
Katie, you going to do the cheer?
Wow, okay. You was a cheerleader over there.
Roy, I was going to ask you, do you realize that whoever runs the 100 fastest is actually your fastest player? It's not who runs, no, whoever. Did you know this? Whoever runs the 40 fastest is not your fastest player. Whoever runs the 100 fastest is your fastest player. Did you know? Okay. A little bit of information. You the
All right,
fastest guy in the 100? Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the Matt and Todd Show experience. We're sitting here with he's kind of close to us. We know him a little bit better than some of the other coaches, I guess. Coach Alan Beckett. He's our new coach at Cedar Bluff. He's taking over the football team after about a 15, 16-year hiatus. Coach McCorder moving on to being the vice principal over at Cedar Bluff. So I guess without further ado, I mean, the first question has already kind of answered itself. We kind of want to know how long the head coaches have been there, but we've already covered that. So we did come over and visit the other day, and Bo tagged along there with me. We had a good experience over there. So how's the workouts going this summer? I mean, you're kind of new there, and I know you're bringing some of your own things that you want to do. So how's that going?
Well, first off, hey, this is great, really good. It's great for the county. Great to have something like this to profile all these schools, and it's been great to hear all these other guys. And experience is right. I'm listening coming in, and I'm hearing Todd talking about smoking, and I don't know how it got off track like that.
You're talking about nutrition, putting bad stuff in your body.
Yeah. I don't.
I told him not.
You
to
weren't
smoke.
talking nutrition, though. But how long have I been there? I've been there 2 weeks, so right. It is. Yes. We're playing catch up in a lot of ways, and so we got a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to cover. And how's it going so far? Well, it's been great. That's why you come to Cedar Bluff. Cedar Bluff's a special place, and it's a place that likes sports. It's a place that likes football, and that's why you drop everything and come to somewhere like Cedar Bluff. So the guys have worked without question. It's tough sometimes to go in a place when you're new, and it's been the best reception I've had anywhere. In it, people hadn't asked any questions. They've just gone to work. It's been welcoming, and the kids have hit the ground running, and they work hard. And and I know they've always had a lot asked of them, but we've had pretty good workouts as well. And so far, they've done everything they've been asked.
Well, Coach, who are your assistant coaches?
Well, we got several, and I'm meeting them just kind of like I'm meeting the kids, and we got Coach Crane and Coach Wehunt. Coach Wehunt, they just had a baby this weekend, and I asked him as he left what they were going to name it, and he said he said Todd Dean.
Wow, Todd Dean.
Had a baby.
Baby's new name, yes.
That's didn't make that story up. So
we are pretty close.
Yeah,
so I can see him naming him after me.
Todd Dean Wehunt.
Yeah. So Justin Little has joined our staff, and
Take a bow, Justin. He's over at the bar.
A lot of places, and I'm really proud of the relationship with him. Cruz Butts, and he is definitely a Cedar Bluff guy, as well as Coach Rice through and through. So it's a good staff, just like the kids. Got to win those guys over, and because they hadn't known anything but Coach McCorder. And speaking of Coach McCorder, it's not like him coming into a broken situation. It is a situation that is good foundation, years and years of winning. Just gonna put our spin on it. So just not having one of those that, listen, I've come into some inherited some really bad situations. I've been in one as assistant as well, and those are no fun. You got to totally change the culture.
Well, what about you? Oh, go ahead, man. Who'd you bring with you here today?
Yeah, who you got with you today, Coach?
Oh yeah, got some. Jacob Burleson is here with us, and he is our
QB number
QB,
one?
yes, sir. And he's also played some safety. And as I looked at some film,
He's
Had
a
some
good safety.
Yeah, started
That's
getting
ridiculous.
some interceptions as the year went on. Got Preston Burt, and I didn't take long to realize that Preston liked to hit other people.
Yes, he does. He
and,
always has.
And we're not going to shy away from any physicality, and I like
We
that.
go way back.
He loves the game, a lot of fun, great character, fun guy to be around. So, man, it is going to be the leader, definitely, without a doubt. And then you've got Nick Clifton, and also a leader. He's always going to do everything right in front of the line. I can tell that right now. And watching some film, he definitely is a playmaker for us. So
Nick's uncle's the fastest guy to ever play at Cedar Bluff.
Yeah, Nick's uncle, little Nick, but the older Nick Clifton.
Terrell Irons was faster.
Yeah, tell us.
Who? Okay. I've heard this all week.
Oh yeah, he put out a post a few days ago about Mark Clifton.
She's right, though.
Being the fastest, and it brought on a onslaught of Cedar Bluff, talk. I mean,
200 comments.
Yeah, 200 comments on a post to be, and we're just talking. He just said he's the fastest guy that he had ever seen play in pads on the field speed, not speed on the track. Because we could mention, from my era of Jermaine Harris's and then, of course, the oldest Devlin Clifton's and Joey's and Jermaine. Who could ever forget Jermaine Harris? There's all these speeds. Zach Taylor, all these kids that come around those and her age group class.
Yeah, he was fast.
Zach, you get him the ball, he's gone. But that brought on an onslaught, Coach. I ain't never seen.
250 comments.
What I'm saying is you've got a proud community to look at, forward to. They really take football serious.
Yeah.
So let's bring that to the players. What has been a little different for you guys? You've been with Coach Mack and been around him since you were in kindergarten, first grade, doing those summer camps. So has it been a little different, for you?
Mostly trying to adjust to all our new coaches and staff and everything. The way they do everything is different than what we're used to, but it's not bad. It's just different than what we're usually like. Yeah, it's just different.
Like you said, it's different, but it's a good different. We've worked out with him, 5 workouts, and I already love him, so I should tell you.
It's always good compliment, Coach. Kids already love you. How about that?
How about that?
Y'all have had 5 workouts or 3?
Sir?
How many workouts have you had?
6, I guess, yeah.
6, okay.
Yeah.
My turn to
Yeah,
ask.
go ahead. What you got?
All right, we're kind of close. He understands. All right, what about player nutrition, Coach? You try to. That's what we were talking about earlier about the.
Well, I think back to Todd Bates, who played high school at Heflin and went on and played University of Alabama. I remember one time talking to Todd, and I said, Todd, what is the difference in what transformed your body? He was talking about weight he gained when he got to Alabama, and he said, we worked out really hard under Coach Short there at Heflin. They had a really good football program. He said, we worked out a little bit harder, but the main thing was our training table was really different. So high school started to tap into that and get into find the food and, get that replacement, the protein, your chocolate milks and all that stuff as soon as you come out. Your power milk. You ever go to Alabama, Auburn, UAB, whoever practice is really neat when they come out, what they're handing them, the trays and what they're putting into the body. And now you even see, I saw at Alabama spring practice, they had fruit during a break that they were, shoveling down. And that's different. That's a different world. So you really got to put a focus on how to eat right, and you're not there with them when they go home. We were talking that just a minute ago, and I was asking guys what they put in their body today alone. So, you drink a lot of water, and this is Ironman football at our level, so you have to, it's like getting ready for a decathlon and 10 decathlons when you run that much and you play that many plays. So you really got to take care of your body. And then you got to get a little bit of that protein and replacement and that kind of thing.
A lot of Kaneka sausage.
Yeah, and they're
Yes,
they're
definitely no Kaneka sausage.
Yeah, that's at your tailgate prior to the game. But they're trying to gain weight because their metabolism's super good. So anyway, nutrition is important.
Yes, very.
Yeah, what about, we've talked about the culture and stuff of the school, and that kind of stuff, and, when we had come up there and talk to you before a couple of weeks ago, trying to be prepared for this region, and going back for some of people here that don't know, Coach Beckett had a big turnaround over there at Collinsville years ago, and his assistant here, Coach Little, was part of that experience over there. So the region of playing around in Cedar Bluff is not really new to you. I mean, you know this region, and now the region now is, of course, you're going to get Gillsville, you're going to get Summerton, Woodville, Coosa Christian, of course. So, trying to get ready for that game one, which, looks like you're going to be playing at that Jamboree, I guess, on the 19th. But game one, it looks like it's going to be at Spring Garden on a Thursday night. I'm assuming that's correct. So, I know we can't see in the future, but this region. How do you prepare these guys to go face Spring Garden? And then I'll ask them, what are you doing to get ready to go play the game one?
Yeah, well, the big thing is just trying to, my goal right now is turn around and try to win next week's practices and get everybody there. And that's kind of, I'm a day by day and win the day and get to the next day. And if you win enough days, you eventually get to where you win when you get to the, or you have success when you get to the scoreboard will take care of itself as far as that goes. But Spring Garden, really important game to the community. They're really good. They've done a really good job of, I say from Coach Welch on down, and now Coach Cloudus. Those guys, he played for me. But anyway, they've got I attributed them to where it's not just basketball winning. Everything wins, and they put a priority and put really good people in place, and so they've done a good job. They've got an outstanding program, and it's really important to the community. And that's the next game. So it's one. But we'll take during the summer. We'll take every team and we'll break down each team, and just like it's game week, and try to put a lot of emphasis on all of them. But those for the fans, those Sandrocks and Spring Gardens, they mean a lot to them.
They do. Yeah, it's the community thing. The Battle of Highway 68 Gillsville Cedar Bluff game, and we had some laughs about that earlier. And it really is, to these guys and to mine that's a senior that graduated already, they didn't get to play that game last year, guys, because of politics. So that's unfortunate. So we'll ask you to continue that question on. What are you guys doing this summer to get ready to play Spring Garden? I mean, guess game one, working hard every day and those kind of things. What are you doing extra to make sure you're ready for that game?
It's more like going to the gym, working out, and having a lot of motivation to actually want to get better. Because we got a bunch of seniors on our team this year, and it consists of most of the team mainly. And we all just want to go through a year where we're basically just winning all of our games.
Like he said, it's just working out and going to the gym. Like me and Jabbo try to go to the gym together as much as we can, and like Chaz Pope and all them, they're in the gym every night. Every one of them are. Kay Williams, all those guys, they work, so we just got to make sure we work harder.
Like they said, working out and mainly eating good, make sure you're eating healthy foods.
I got a question for Jabbo. Can you let somebody throw one ball deep without intercepting or knocking it down? I never seen nothing like it.
He didn't play but about how many games, Chris? 3 games, start on defense, maybe
16
5,
interceptions. I mean,
4 or 5 games, and he was all over the field knocking stuff down.
Oh man, he's a good safety.
We'd like to have seen him
Which
play
I enjoyed
more.
watching
defense.
all 3 of you play.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah. What you got?
Oh, next question. Where was I right here? All right, Coach, you lost 4 seniors off last year's team. Finding new leaders, is that going? Which you're just now getting to where you know the players anyway. But how are the players? Do they have good leadership qualities?
Yeah, I do think I do like what I've seen so far. As far as but there again, we're still 100% in evaluation period, and we want to find leaders every day, and more than just the top of the food chain and the older guys. We want to develop that through and Coach Mack had a lot of really good leadership courses, and we're going to do a lot of the same kind of stuff. So to continue to leadership's huge. You really, it's the players, just the coaches, just I mean they're navigating the ship a little bit, but really it's a players run deal. And in the good situations, good teams, and the ones that you're sitting there and you're having to spend all your time give that motivational speech or
Right.
pull them in the office, you know as well as I do, it don't matter what the talent is, they're going to underachieve and they're not going to be. That's not your team.
Yeah, you had a big time. Well, he talked a lot. I'm sure he was a good leader, but Ombre League was very vocal, and I just hope y'all can, and I'm sure you can find that same type of guy to be a vocal leader.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed. Don't know Ombre, but I really enjoyed Bucky so far, and man, he loves it. He goes all out. He's there with a smile on his face, and seems to have a big buy-in so far. And man, I look forward to being a part of him.
We talked about trying to win that region and stuff, and being part of and they went 5-1 in the region last year. Cedar Bluff did. So it's hard to say what would you add upon to do, because you wasn't the coach there. So coming off of what that they had accomplished, where's some things that you would like to see you could fill in on and maybe make some things better? What are some things you could do to improve the team, maybe?
Yeah, our
physically,
big thing,
mentally, or whatever.
Yeah, as far as regions and team, our whole big deal is hey, let's be the best team in our locker room. Let's be the best we can be. Let's maximize who we are. Let's get people in the right position. That's kind of that's where we are right now. And I can't tell you a whole lot. I know that Coach Mack did a whole lot. I'm a huge, big Coach Mack fan. So, he had a lot of success. We're going to put our spin on it and see where we're at.
What about some normalcy, guys, from from last year? And I know what y'all went through. Mine was a part of it there with you. Just tell us a little bit about how to get back to normal. Last year was workouts. You're wearing masks. They're spraying stuff all the time, and it's complicated, and it's kind of irritating somewhat. Y'all's getting your temps checked every time you walk in the door. So just tell us a little bit about this year, getting back to some kind of normalcy. What about that?
Yeah, it's a whole lot better than last year. You're spending 5-10 minutes checking temperatures and just social distancing and all of that. This year you can be kind of normal. It's just a whole lot better.
Like he said, it's a lot better because we can work out more, and nobody's checking our temperature. We ain't gotta worry about somebody yelling at us for having our mask off. And Coach Mack was bad about that, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hardly breathe. We couldn't breathe doing all the stuff we had to do, but
I know.
it was a lot better. It's a lot better this year because we can actually work and we can focus on what we need to do instead of any of that stuff, wiping
Great.
all the stuff down and stuff like that.
Good stuff, Nick.
It's definitely easier this year because whenever we were going through like summer workouts and everything, we had to wear a mask while weightlifting. But you know how hot it was last year as well, so it was making it even harder to breathe. And definitely like squatting and everything had made it so hard to breathe whenever we were. Yeah, definitely and it's just easier now since we can run around without our masks and everything on and be able to breathe while.
Yeah, I agree.
while weightlifting.
That'd have to be aggravating, trying to work out and wearing it. I'll ask you this, and we'll let the peanut gallery take over. After last year, at the end of the season, I was there. Been a part of this for a long time. At the end of the season, the way the season ended last year, where do you look to now hit the ground running from that moment to now? What are you trying to do as players and as students and as individuals to help, to get better from that moment on? What are you trying to do to get back to that position where you could, win a spot like that?
Just trying to get everybody to buy into the culture and just taking every day hard as you can.
Me, I just use the last game against Hubbardville as like fuel for this next year because I feel like we shouldn't have lost that game, but we played as hard as we could and it ended up how it did. But I think this summer we get everybody there and we start working as hard as we can and doing everything Coach Beckett says, and we'll be all right.
Definitely during the Hubbertville game, we were down a touchdown and we didn't come out on top on that game. But it helps us now because we can think we don't want to have that feeling. Definitely after it's going to be our last game once it gets to that point, because it's going to be our last year ever playing. So we want to be able to play our best. We're going to want to do our best this summer because it's going to be the last time we ever get to do it.
I think last year taught us all something. I mentioned this earlier. I would hear Coach Mack tell you guys a lot, this may be the last day of practice. I think that's changed a lot of the guys, and we've had a lot of the kids on, and coaches, they could probably agree to that, how this COVID had changed the situation to where, we may not play anymore. This may be it. So that gives you a little more sense of urgency. And, yes, it is just a game, but to some people it's not just a game. It's a little more important. And to take your senior year seriously, and not be goofing off as much. I mean, there's some cutting up and stuff that goes on, but maybe you have a different view now of this game and practice this year of how hard you need to work because something could happen and it's just the end of it.
It's just like what y'all said, because most people, like, whenever Ombre and them got out for COVID and Ombre couldn't play during the Appalachian game, it really hurt his, like, the way his morale and everything. He was all down. I mean, we kind of know how that feels now because since any time it could just come out to be, we probably won't even have a season this year. You never know. So we want to play our best, do our best, and do everything. We're going to probably cut up while doing our best. You never know.
You don't mind cutting up a little bit, do you, Coach?
No.
Yeah, we try to take things a lot more serious now since we're seniors, because seeing Ombre and all them that got quarantined last year during football, it made us realize that that was their last season, and now it's us. This is our last season as high school players, but I think if there's a lot less joking around and taking everything serious, then we'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. Peanut Gallery, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I got something to say about Coach Beckett.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Coach Beckett the most is I got to know him last year, and he's offensive coordinator at 7A Kansas City. But during the last 6 months or so, this is something I've learned about Coach Beckett and I've noticed about Coach Beckett. I was at Clay Chalkville, 6A Powerhouse, and Matt Glover was talking about Coach Beckett. And he was talking about Coach Beckett is a student of the game and how much he loves the game. And Matt Glover was like, if you ever had any questions about any situations or any formations, Coach Beckett has a film on it, that he watches film and he will let you borrow that film, which that lets me know he loves the game. Also, I was up there doing a coaches show at 5. Guess who walks in the field house? Coach Beckett. He comes in there and talks to Coach Benefield. They're on first name basis. And Coach Benefield was like, when Coach Beckett walked out that day, Coach Benefield said, love that guy. That's a great guy right there. That's a guy you want leading young men. I say all that to say this. With you guys back there behind him, you may or may not know Coach Beckett that well. You've known him for 2 weeks now. How does that make y'all feel knowing that you got state champion, 6A powerhouses, 7A teams that are dominant, and everybody respects this man leading you now? You start right over here with the quarterback, Jake.
Oh, it's amazing to have a coach like that. You could go to him and ask him, and you'll be getting the right answer back to you. It's just a great feeling to have.
I love the fact that he come from such high up, and I like everything he's doing so far. I like it. I respect him. I'm gonna listen to him, and I'm gonna put my athletic ability in his hands and let him use it how he thinks it needs to be used.
Having Coach Beckett as a coach, he brings a lot of positivity to all the players. He hasn't really let us down that much at all, even the 2 weeks that he's only been with us. He's told us a lot of good things, and he's sitting there bringing around all the offensive stuff that we need to do and different changes that could make us better in any other sorts of ways.
All right. If everybody that knows me knows I'm a Gadsden City guy. I'm going to miss Coach Beckett, but I will be up to visiting some throughout the summer and the season. But Coach Beckett, you know, your dad coached here at Cherokee County. How does it feel coming back? I guess this is kind of a homecoming to you. How does it feel coming back to coach in the same area that your dad coached in and just being back here?
Yeah, it's big to my mother. Of course, my dad's deceased, but it's really big to my mother, who's like the #1 sports fan and keeps up with everything known to man, a lot more than I do at this point. But it was really big to her. I have seen, it was really neat. All those Cherokee County guys, I knew their parents are in Witt's case, grew up with same age as Mark. Yeah, and it's been great to be back. It's been great reception. Already knew a lot of those guys, family and that kind of thing. So it has been neat coming back. Didn't anticipate it. Was really happy where I was at. Definitely wasn't looking. Saw Cedar Bluff though, and that was kind of a game changer. And you just kind of stop in your tracks when it's Cedar Bluff.
So Reggie stole my question, so now I have nothing. So I guess I'll ask you this, Coach. So you've been used to being on the other side of this region, and now you're on the Cedar Bluff side of this region. Talk a little bit about that. What things can we look forward to from this? You know, you've been on the Collinsville side and you've been on the Winterboro side. What can we look forward to from the Cedar Bluff side?
Yeah, it wasn't really well received by my former Collinsville players, but they have reached out because we definitely, especially at that time, we had a rivalry. It was a good little rivalry. It was a strong one. So it is neat. It is interesting to be on the other side of things. But hey, man, I always way back to center days and sitting back and listening to Coach Johnson and my dad talk about the other side of the other side of the bridge. They always thought Cedar Bluff was a go-to place, and I always did. And I saw, say, Roy's generation on, and then researched the history. And of course, if you don't know the history, Todd will tell you within a couple minutes. He'll keep you up to date. But knowing all the way back to Coach Bruce, you know that's a place, man. That's just Cedar Bluff is a go-to place. And then just remembering those days and how good the teams were, how successful the people were. We always looked at it as a very tight-knit place, and I just always thought it was a place you can do really well. And every situation is not in the same situation, because administration's with you, and Mr. Thrasher's been nothing but great. But when administration's, they're interested in winning. You know, players and coaches win games. Administrations gives you a chance to win championship, and that's Cedar Bluff. And so great people. So that's it has been different though.
Describe the final product you hope to put on the field this fall for Cedar Bluff fans.
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, you want to get 100% buy-in. You want to get a lot of energy. Kids that are totally, because any season you're gonna have ups and downs. All right, and but you want kids that are totally, they're gonna weather the storm. They're gonna hold on to the good times and the bad times, and they don't. So I want a product that's gonna play really hard. There's no quit in them, really physical, and brings it week in, week out. There's no down weeks. May get beat, but there's no. It's not because we didn't bring it on the weekly, and so that's the goal. You know, effort. I'm an effort coach. That's kind of my thing. I'm great effort. I have effort charts. And some people are that. You know, some guys, you got that guy that coach is going. He missed a pass, and the coach is going. You know, what are you doing? What are you doing? What you're terrible. That's awful. Well, if the kid gave it his all, I'm not that guy. If he's loafing, I'm effort on hustles and covers on kickoffs and punts and pursuit of the ball. Man, I'm coaching effort. That's
I can tell you this from these three guys sitting behind me here, and Chris could tell you this. They all three know when they played baseball for us when they were young, you don't have to be good to try. And And I told them that all the time when they were little. I don't care. Well, I'm not good enough, Coach Matt, or I'm not good as him. You don't have to never be good to try. So these three, I know they know that. So we look forward to the season, and we're excited about it. We're excited you're here. Anything else, anybody? Shannon?
Coach, I know you weren't here last year, but numbers were a little bit of a problem for Cedar Bluff last year. I believe they only had 21 that were on the roster. I mean, just talk about, trying to get, some depth, some numbers up in your first year.
Yeah, and in talking to Coach Mack, a couple things at play there. You had some small classes, some small boy classes, and it's just somebody can play when you get in that situation. Other thing, he felt like COVID in part hurt because you don't have the access in the hallway, and some people, and you had players, and we had players where we were at where the families were kind of stay away. But numbers-wise is always, I like numbers. If you remember Collinsville days, we built that roster up, and we finally got it high 30s to 40, and I'm constantly going to be recruiting. Now, you don't want a bad seed. You don't want a guy that's going to disrupt things. I'm not going after that, not going to fool with that. But as far as players to develop and a quarterback in each class and that kind of thing, the goal is to get players out. The goal is to have that situation. Cedar Bluff's always winning a lot of sports, but the goal is to everybody have success and one feed off the other. And of course, small schools share athletes, but I'm talking about totally in a family environment. And it may be that way, but if it's not, we're going to head even more that way because it's big to me to have numbers, big to me that we share success.
He meant recruiting in the school, not outside of it.
In the hallways, with their own hallways. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Hey, Coach Beckett, when I went out there with Matt the other day, I couldn't help but to notice how beautiful the place is. I've been out there before in the game, and one of the games I went to, Matt and I talked about it, was the Collinsville game a couple of years ago. It was the Mud Bowl or whatever you want to call it. But it's beautiful. And then when you walk in you guys' facility and you see that hallway with all the legendary players that's went to the next level and the Hall of Fame players there, and just everything about that place, just it's beautiful.
Tradition, that's what you
100% tradition.
You see the picture of the old school up there, and
yeah.
What does that mean to you to come to a place like that, Coach, and just you know their tradition, if anybody does. What does that mean to you to go to a place that has that kind of tradition, and now you have the reins to take that moving forward?
That's why I came to a place like that, is all the things you're talking about. But that's why you want to be there. You just named it. I mean, it's just tradition doesn't play, but tradition is why it motivates that kid, and their parent is saying, is telling them things that's happened in the past, and they're wanting to live up to it. The stadium is beautiful. You're 100% right, and I think they do a great job of embracing it. Coach Mack's done a great job, and Coach Smith before that. We got some things planned on honoring Coach Bruce's team every year, and then one other team, whether it be Coach Smith's or Coach Mack's or one of the other coaches, every year start to bring that back as much as possible and make sure these guys know. There's not a lot on the outside, but inside when you're in the field house, those guys walk by that every day, and that's a great thing, so they can go, hey, man, look what's taking place here. So, yes, you are right.
Good. All right, guys. Dean, what you got, brother?
I wish him good luck. Y'all got a good PA and music guy over there.
Yeah. PA's the best in the county, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Talbert might have something to say about that.
Hey, y'all got some good-looking guys behind you back there.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking
Appreciate
group
you
of
guys.
guys back
Thank
there.
y'all for coming on. We love you guys.
Yeah, we wish you good luck, Coach.
Yeah. We'll be
come
around.
on. We're Cedar Bluff fans. Oh, and want to
We'll
recognize.
be around. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach Beckett, Cedar Bluff. First annual media days of Cherokee County football. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, Shane Givens, for having us, for setting everything up. Thank you, Shane.
His wife actually
everybody
cheered
coming.
at Cedar Bluff, right?
Cheerleader.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
And for Matt and Todd show, we will not be on tomorrow. Seeing that we were on today, we'll not be live tomorrow. We'll probably be shoot a video next Sunday for Father's Day. So y'all have the day off tomorrow. All right, thank you guys. Y'all keep your heads clear.